and welcome to my channel. Today's 10 days of bits and pieces prompt is tags, and yeah, I love tags. I have a box tin just for tags, so I have all sorts. So I do buy these kind of like manila tags. It's a little place I sometimes get those from, and then I have some these little tag pads. These are very, very old, and I really ought to use them. They've got the, you can see, need to do something with those, maybe do with some inks. But yeah, I've got a couple of those. Those are quite old, so they're in my tag box. Some printed ones from some of Janie's Originals kits. Like I said, I've got some more, different sizes. These ones I've just made from bits of card. So you see, I have them as templates so I can draw around them. Come to those in a moment. I am not going to create, as in cut tags per se today. I'm going to make a few, but because literally not that long ago, I had a build my, stash building a bit, and I cut all of these. Now, I have some tag dies. Some of them are what called multimedia, so they cut thicker layers. So I basically had an afternoon of die cutting, and you can see, so I've got piles of different size and shape tags. So I'm not going to be cutting anything, any new tags. As you can see, I have a tin full. However, let's just put those away in my tin. These ones are when I'm looking for a tag for a particular thing, and then I know I've got different shapes, different sizes, and then I would decorate them. But then I have other tags. So these ones, I haven't got many at the moment, and that's why I'm going to do some more. These ones, like this and this, I cut from, that one's from a kit. That one's I've made, but these two I've cut from bits like this. We did a masterboard a while back, one of the prompts for the 10 days of bits and pieces, but I also make these, what I call collage strips of bits and pieces of paper, and then I cut into those for various things, including tags. So these two, as you can see from like the embossing, I've cut those with dies, but I'm just going to cut these ones. I think some of them I might run some through the machine. Can I be bothered? Don't know at the moment. So what we'll do is we'll cut a few from these, and then we'll decorate these. That one I think is, well, we can still do it. So like I said, I have tag dies. So I cut a lot out, but and I also buy them. But the easiest, I think, the best way, and I'm just going to see if I can find it. No, I can't. I don't know. I have a little folder which has tag templates in, but we can use these. So if you have tags already, I mean, I might get into this one because these are some bigger ones. These are just ones I've cut out. So we can use these as sort of, I think those are definitely ones that, no, I haven't die cut those. Well, that's a nice one. See, that one is easy. That's just a rectangle with a corner rounder. We can do that. We have some like that. So all I would do is use my pencil and draw, round on my board. We'll do this one down here. I'm not worrying about the rounded edges because I'll do that with a corner rounder. So that's that one. I'm just having a look to see. So keep some tags. See, these little ones would be quite nice. Let's go there. Like that. So we'll do this one like this, and then I'm going to just show you a different way. Okay, so got my board. Use my big guillotine. I'm just going to use that to cut where I have drawn. So there. One. Okay, and then that one and something else. So, there. You see, these are quite thick, quite heavy duty because I've used card and then collage onto the top. So here we have a tag. The other one's over. That one I'm going to do round. One. That one. Oh, light's not very good on that. So we've got this one and this one. That one. This one, let's do it while I've got it in my hand. I get my corner rounder out. Use the large one. Looks like I might need a. Oh no, it's off it there. I'm only going to do it at the top. I'm not going to do it at the bottom. Let's move these ones out of the way because I don't need any more of those in a minute. I'll tidy those up. So where's the other ones that I thought I had drawn out? I had a few more of the little ones drawn on there, but maybe not. Oh yeah, there's another one. There's another one. So, uh, uh, and then uh, I would just use my crocodile. Tend to look on the back, so I usually tend to go for the bigger hole. And then I'll just put a hole in. It might have been a bit too big for these little ones. I'm not overly worried if they're not central, but you can always measure them if you prefer them to be central. So there's some there, and I did these ones. I did actually cut from when we made the masterboard, so I've got a few here. It means that already you've got some interest on the tag, and you don't have to sort of create any sort of collage on them. So for those, I've used some other tags to sort of, add to work out, but it's really easy. If I just take this one, literally, I'm going to just put it into pieces. Let's go. It's a roughly egg size. Do that one, and then we can use this one as a smaller one. These are quite fat ones, and then there's a couple of ways you can then do it. So these are not any particular size. I mean, I could take an old tag and these just happen to be the same size and use that to draw my lines. So if I do that, or I know some people have credit cards, old credit cards, where they've cut sort of some angles that you can use, or if you prefer to measure. So let's measure this one. So I use this ruler. It's got a nice middle bit on, so I know that's the middle. So if we go sort of centimetre and a half that way, centimetre and a half that way, and actually I might use the squares one here. It's just as easy on there, and then use the scissors to cut there and there. So it's a couple of different ways Um, and again, I then got some nice tags. If you want to know about collage strips, if I remember, I will uh put the link to where my video where I made these. I'll show you how I made them. They're really not difficult. If you, basically, similar to a masterboard. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to go ahead and make a few more of these, and then I'll come back and then we'll look at perhaps taking some of the plain ones and then decorating them. So I will be back shortly. I have made a little pile then of tags out of collage strips. So just sort of, and this is why I like collage strips, because these are almost ready to go. I'm going to uh decorate, add a little bit of embellishment to some of these, and also then show how I would decorate those from scratch as well. So yeah, so I picked out from my other blanks box a few different sizes and sort of shapes. And then I pick out, I'm not going to do loads because I don't want to be watching me do lots of things. If I pick out a couple of those for now, and then you can see the difference of decorating. So, okay, so I am going to get my lace scraps out. Now, when I got these out for the tabs, I decided they were too big. So, but they're not. They're going to be better on these. But whereas these are kind of ready to go, and I can just pick up something, um, like let's put a bit of lace on that. Um, so I don't know what else could I put on there. Oh, I know what I've got. I've got my die cut shapes. Let's see, what something that would go fit on there. Let's put that on there. Like so. And then a little bit of ephemera. What have we got? Oh, I've got a ticket here. This one. I reckon this. I'm just gonna leave that while that's still right. I mean, I'll need to I can re-punch the hole in a minute. And then a little bit of a focal point. What have we got? Oh, I think that would look nice. So you can see by having these pre-made backgrounds, it makes it a lot easier. Sometimes I cover the back, but it would depend on the project. So I'm just going to go back through that hole. So I'll put something through that. See, that was just so quick and easy to do. Let's see. I reckon that's a nice big piece across. It's a bit crumpled. Getting a bit fussy in my old age. How about that bit? Uh, now, again, these die cut shapes, I the same day that I did the tags, I did these as well because I was lacking in inspiration, but felt I wanted to do something. So yeah, I have a video. I will put these videos, link these videos because I do find sometimes this whole uh making ephemera, sometimes you just need to spend time making the little bits, cutting, you're doing a bit of fussy cutting. It's another thing that I've got is a um some I don't think I've got them out for today, but I've cut them out of magazines. Yeah, that side or that side? That side, I think. There. Get that stuck. What have we got? I do like these. I've said in a previous video that I'm not sure where you can get them these days, but I got mine from Janie at a retreat. I think I linked somewhere that sells similar things, but I just like these because I think they look just. See, look, and there's two tags because I had the background on already. Those two tags were so quick and simple. Okay, so let's look at doing one from scratch. So what I would then do is I would go looking for my collage papers. Let's see. I'm going to grab one that I did. Oh, back to knock everything off my table. There it all goes. These are what I did when we did the collage paper prompt. I quite like that one. I think what we might do is use that to cover that. Let's go with that for the moment. I'll come back to those for another one. So when I do them like this, then where did I put my glue? Then I would you sometimes I would, in fact, let's do this one, the whole thing, and then I'll show you another one where I would actually collage onto it. So is there any particular place? I do like the pink, so I think we're going to go here, like so. Okay, and then cut around it. So, oh, just slide my desk is an absolute pit at the moment. Do need to have a bit of a, oh, see, I like that. And then just make the hole there. Okay, so I've got a nice background on there. I like that, those colours. So let's see what else. Now this is bigger. So another tin. I have these like labels. I think that one might look nice. I have tins of all sorts of things, and I have just basically just to the left of where I'm sat. I have one of those IKEA cube things, and I have all my most used things here. So when I'm doing this kind of stuff, I can literally just, have turn around and grab what I think might be interesting. See, I don't know that. What about this? Will lace or not? I think I want lace on this one. What else can I use? What else can I use? I'm going to try. I am going to try and stick. Oh no, but that one will go there. I'll promise in the next one I won't use these. That said, I absolutely love these. These things for ephemera are just beautiful. What have we got here? I'm not sure where I got these from. I'm thinking possibly Janie's Originals. So if we do just a little bit of collage maybe on this one. I like that. It's a nice little pink ticket there. I think we go with that. Sometimes you just need to not overcomplicate things. So we've got that there. And we're going to stick that. Do I put that under there or there? I think this next. I will also, once I've done decorated these, we'll get my fibres out and we'll add them, and then that will be, they'll finish them off nicely. You see, I'm sort of hanging it over the sides so that it's not straight in there. So let's put this in. Right, what's that? There we go. So there's another one. All right. Okay. We'll do one more where we cover the whole thing. What do I use on that one? I think I might use that on there. And then the other ones I'll get my more scrappy box of collage papers out. We're gonna let's do one of those and then you can see how I do those. But I think one of the things I would say is to have a stash of ready to go blank tags, but also some ready to go sort of already collage background ones. And you know, you don't have to do the collage individually. You can make collage strips and cut into them, which is what I've done. And I will link that video in. It's one of my older ones, so I'll find it and link it in. And then we see, look, pretty. And that looks like a collage too, because of the way we made the background. So what have we got that we can go on here? Let's see, what's this? No, too black. Too black, that one. Some of these might be a bit too black. What about that one? No. No, right, let's have a think about what else I can use on my things. But I put some washi tape. Oh, not washi tape. Some tape that I made. See, I think that one would look nice. Tape that I made for, I think it was the first of the prompts. This was masking tape that I stamped. Excuse me. Let's put a bit there. I'm going to cut that and then use it a bit further up. Sometimes I would just kind of maybe just there. Sometimes I would wrap it round, but I'm not going to on this particular case. Got a little bit of that there. Oh, what else should we use? Maybe a smaller tape. What else should we use? No. How about that one? No. No, not liking those for that. So put those to the side. What else I've got? I've got loads of stuff. It's just making the decision as to what to use. Right, this is playing cards. Some another little playing card. Yes, that would be a nice fit, wouldn't it? I reckon that one. I like that one. That's going to be my kind of focal point. Maybe I'll use a bit of lace on this one. Let's go back to my lace box to white. Thing is, I just haven't had the time with some of these whiter bits to you can put some ink on them and dull them down a little bit. Oh, that one might be good. I think I said on the previous video I have this what I call scraps, which you might not call scraps. I have the tin of lace rolls, which I brought out last time because they're fine lace. I had have a tin also of what I call lace pieces, which are larger pieces of this. But then I also have a big tin which has larger rolls of lace, but also kind of doilies um uh that I will at some point cut into. But those kind of things are also great for actually for putting on your spines of books. So how are we doing? How are we doing? Aha. Die cuts, die cuts, die cut. No, not that one. One colour. I think the thing about I mean these are all ends of pattern card. That one might be good. Stick that under there. Stick that under there too. Stick that under there like that. I like that. So I need to put a little glue there because now I've just randomly put some things down. Don't have the glue for them. Like so. Yeah, so having those gives you a whole range of then of colours and that kind of thing. So let's have a look in here. I think I've got some fussy cut. Oh, I do like that because that goes with the brown of that sort of goldy brown of that background. This one was a fussy cut. There we go. Yeah, it's another one. That's good. Did I not put a hole in this one? Oh no, because I forgot to go repunch the hole, didn't I? So go. There's that one. There we go. I think on camera I'll do one more. I might or might not do the others off camera, but this one I'm going to grab. Where's my? I have various little boxes. So this one I would say my more scrappier pieces of paper. So let's see what do we think we might like to use. That's one. Like that. So you can see it's all, oh, maybe. Let's rewind on that. I know I do them in different colours, sometimes because I think I might like to use the colours, mostly because it's using up ends of, scraps of. I quite like those two together. If I've got anything else that'll go in with that. That gold would look nice in with that. Right, so let's just stick with those three for a minute. And I'm literally just going to put the glue onto the tag. Start to stick some pieces on. I think. Might do that in that bottom corner there. I quite like that edge. Slip, so sort of there, or over here. Uh, I tend to want to do this if I don't want straight edges per se. I tend to put the straight edges off the edge, which is why I tend to put the thing on the tag, but I haven't that time. Yeah, so that I get the rougher edges on the front. And I don't get sort of straight edges in amongst the collagey piece because we're going to cut this off in a bit. Let's go with a bit more of this up here. That bit there, maybe that bit there. Ah. I need a lot more glue than that. So, and then final piece of that up here. So something like this takes a bit more time. If you're going to, if you want, my feeling is if you want the collage effect, do a collage strip. It's a lot easier, and it ends up being a lot more random because you're not, when you're making the strip, you're not thinking about placement where it would be on a tag. You're just putting it on the strip, so you get much, I think, more random. But if you want a particular color, like this one has turned out to be, then you know this kind of collage will work. So let's just watch that hole, and then I think we might look back to my labels, see what I've got in the labels. This is quite a big area to cover. Something like that. It's gonna look nice on there. A little round one that might go on the top. Not sure. Let's see. Ooh, I like that on there as well. Yeah. See, there's in. I can just see this dragonfly, and I think that's going to look on there. That's a bit light, then, isn't it? Maybe that on there with that up there. Maybe like that. A couple that have come out as well. Maybe what else have we got in here? Gonna need something else, but I'm liking that. I'm wondering maybe. Oh, I think. No, this I like. I think I do like that on there, but I think that's going on the bottom. Let's start assembling this. Let's get some glue on there. I've heard, where you see I'm putting this on and then I'm trying that, and I've heard it being called auditioning. So, and it's quite a good yeah, I like that. A good term, you're auditioning the bits and pieces to see if they're going to do what it is you want them to, they're going to achieve the effect that you want. So it's always a good idea to audition Now, I do like this, and I am going to use the dragonfly, but I do feel that with this is something more. So I'm going to look for a little die cut. That will work. Does the dragonfly still show up? Maybe I need something darker. Maybe something darker. Hmm. Unsure. Let's see what we can find in here. Now I like that. Because that then really shows that dragonfly off, doesn't it? I wonder if I've got, oh look, I've got a circle. Which I think is better. Right. Okay. So there we go. And I think I'm lucky I have a lot of stuff. But you don't need a lot of stuff to get going on this kind of things, whatever you've got. And I think what I'll do them off screen because I've got to go and find the stuff. Is find some stuff that I've got out of magazines to do the other two, so you can see that, you know, you can just use what you find in magazines. I like that one. To decorate your tags. So I will put two more here. I might find, depending on what I find to use, I might choose a different size tag, but I will be back to show you what else I do with stuff that I can find that I've cut from magazines. So I decided rather than just going ahead and doing them without you seeing. So this is something I cut out of a magazine. I think it's called Simple Things. The Simple Things. And this is another bit of that collage paper. So blue. So I'm going to first of all stick the tag onto the collage paper. And there's a side. That's what covers. So we're going to stick it on this bit here. And then I'm going to see what tape I've got that I made. The reason I'm doing this is I'm trying to show you that, yeah, I've got all these things that I can use and they're lovely. But, you know, we made some really nice, you know, collage papers in the previous prompt. So I'm using that. And look at this, like I said, I cut it out of a magazine, so it's going to be on the top. But I do want to see, is there anything else we've made that we could use to add to this? This pink would be nice. This pink. Not quite the right pink. What about this? Is that too busy? Yeah, that's too busy. Okay. How about that? I reckon if I stick this down, then we could use some of this over it. I still got the thing there. That looks good. What else could we do? A little bit of lace on the top. I think that, yes. So, okay, I've used a bit of lace, but I think, you know, mostly haven't, you know, used any die cuts or anything like that. So we're going to use this bit. Oh, that's on there. Oh. What do we have? The brown. And before I stick that down, just wondering, we should maybe. No, 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 no. Let's stick with what we were doing. Stick with what we were doing. Um, and so this is gonna go all the way down here to the side. Do I want it off? This is like that, so it's off the side, like so. And also, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Okay, there's that. I'm going to put a bit of lace across the bottom. I might. Like, come on. Of a specific kind of pink, this. I actually do quite like that. So I think what I'm going to do, stick part of it there. Oh, need my glue scissors because I've got glue there. Then that bit there. Bit of lace across the bottom. I know. It's me going, well, we could do all the stuff I've got from magazines, and then I haven't, and I admit that. But somewhere here I've got some card candy. I do want that to kind of go over, but I don't want it so far over. Card candy. So this. The pink, just the pink. These things they always get so like stacked on each other. Yeah, I like that. I like that. So we're going to squish these down a bit flatter than they are. I know they're supposed to be sort of like supposed to be like raised, aren't they? But I want them flat, so I'm going to squish them down. There. Squish down. So there's that one. And then last one. Last one. Again, this is from, I'm pretty sure it'll be the Simple Things again. It's tea. Oh, look, that goes in with our tea bag theme. I reckon. Nice. Well, let's go with it. Let's just think sometimes, you just gotta go with it and see what, stick this on. cut it. This is the only issue when you cut fancy shapes. When you cover them, you've got to cut those fancy shapes again. But that's okay. Not the end of the world. Let's get around. Yeah. Okay, so what are we going to add to this? I think a little bit of lace, but I'm not sure. Maybe this little thin one. Like that. Yeah, I think that do. Let's there. That maybe across there. Yes, definitely across there. I think these might just look nice. Not the pink ones. Not the pink ones. Let's see what colours in here that might work. That one on there. Oh, I think that might be enough. Yeah. Really, really simple one there. Yeah, really simple. I need to do the I've got stuff everywhere. It's sticking everywhere. Quite a pretty little one. Okay, so I'm gonna have a little bit of a tidy up and I will be back in a second. We'll look at putting some fibres, into these tags to put them at the top. So I'll just have a bit of a tidy up because I'm getting in a right old pickle, and then I will be back. So I have my what did I make? 7 tags. So and I've got 2 more tins out. So this tin is fibres, and I have kind of got them bagged up into sort of colours. So that's one thing. And then this tin, these are 2 of my lovely vintage tins. I've got some scraps of sari ribbon and this one. Again, scraps. I mean, they're not the full length. So trouble with when I put some of these things on, it takes the focus away from the middle of the board. And you end up not being able to focus on those things. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a bit of a rummage and see if there's things I particularly like. See, I think that one will look nice with that. I think that's going to look nice. You can see I've gone straight for the sari ribbon. Let's find some fibres. Let's not be mean. I've got some mixed ones. That one. That might look nice in that. No idea where that came from. Possibly Janie. What else have we got? So something orange. No. Oh, red, I think. Pink in here. See, some of the that one. That one's pretty. We'll go with that one. I'm not going to need all that, so I'm just going to cut some off so that go with the double bit. There we go. We'll go with that for that one. a lot of these fibers came from the Fruit Pixie, which isn't, I don't think, open anymore. Well, which I know it's not. We've got a lot of things from the Fruit Pixie, which is a shame. I think I have a green that goes with the white. The white to go with the let's see what's this. A little bit of green to go with that one for that. There. Yeah, I just get quite a few little bits, really good value bits and pieces from, oops, let me put those away, from the Fruit Pixie. Not so sure about this now. I can see that blue in there. It's not much. If I can do it without that blue, which I probably can. Let's get rid of the blue. What have we got in here that would go? These. Done that. Just these two. Just these two. Would that go there? Not too much. I think that's too much. Maybe go with that one for that. And I might just go with that one for that. Okay. That's why sometimes when you've got bigger things that you're using, like ribbon, it doesn't have to be sari ribbon, it could be ordinary ribbon. And believe me, I've got a lot of that too. Sometimes then you can just keep these little bits. Just trying to fold this down so it's going to go through the hole. It's the only issue I think I might have with some of these sari ribbons. Oh, there we go. Just have to be a little bit careful. I think that's enough. See, I wouldn't even throw these away. This will go into my complete scraps. I have, and those will be used on things like clusters. Let's see if a double one will go. I probably won't. I'll probably not cut that enough now. This is still some more of that blue on there, which I don't like. Okay. I've got it equal-ish. Yeah. Come on, go through. There you go. Oh, okay. There's that one. Excuse me, we're going to double this, won't we? So this is very fluffy. So we can get this so very fluffy and sparkly. Oh, there's my thing. That goes through like that. From that. And somewhere there's a bit I need to cut there. See, that one's nice. Lofty. There. A bit of sorry, ribbon through this one. Yeah, I'm glad I went for that. I think going for anything too bright there would have taken away from the butterfly. That's that one. Let's just cut a bit off there. And that. This isn't going to need all of this either. This is lovely. So pretty, so soft. See, sometimes I do it with a longer piece so that I can adjust it and then I don't waste a lot of stuff. Really. That I don't think is a scrap that will go back in my actual box. see that one I'm going to cut off there. That one in there. Oh, didn't go through the other side. That one. Round the colour. Pretty one. And then this one here. I'm going to need all of this. So where's there's a, let's go for that like that. Let's see, it might be plenty through this hole. Now I have been eyeing up a punch from Craftelia. I get stuff periodically from them. You get it from the website. If you're in the UK, it does take a while to arrive. However, they have got a shop on Amazon, and I have noticed in there they've got a punch that actually creates the kind of little, you know, the reinforcers, if you like. So I've got my eye on that because I think that would be quite a nice, just to, you know, because then they wouldn't just be like the white ones that you used to buy, like for your, you know, your folded, your college work or whatever. But it would, you'd be able to make some pretty funky ones just to reinforce the holes. So I have my pile of ready collage tags made from my collage strips, a load of those, and then we've decorated a few tags as well. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you again in a few days, where we will look at the next of our challenges.